Hey guys, and welcome back to Comic Breakdown. If you guys are new to the channel, do me a favor and hit that sub button, hit that notification bell, and make sure you don't miss any of the awesome content we have coming out. Now, for this video, we're going to be jumping into some Wonder Woman issue number 774. And if you haven't been keeping up with Wonder Woman, go ahead and check out the link in my description as well as the top of this video. It will get you completely caught up on everything going on. And in the last couple of issues, what we have seen is Wonder Woman arriving in Asgard. And when she got there, she helped all of Asgard by making sure the Tree of Life, making sure that it stayed alive. And with her mission, with her job done there, she is told that she is needed in Olympus because in her absence, something has happened. And upon arriving in Olympus, Wonder Woman found everything to be in complete ruins. And with that being said, let's dive into this breakdown. Alright guys, so as we dive into this issue, Wonder Woman is sitting here at the foot of Olympus, looking at everything in complete utter chaos. You know, up to this point, she really hasn't understood anything going on. She knows that she died. She's gone to the afterlife. She accidentally ended up in Asgard, and now standing in Olympus, she wonders what the heck is going on. Not only that, but what has become of Olympus? Her once beautiful place, where she is supposed to spend the rest of eternity, is now in flames and all of the gods are missing. And as her and her little squirrel friend investigate the ruins, this is when she tells her little rat friend, like, you need to give me any information that you might have. Because as it stands, I feel like you're not telling me something. And he confesses that there are some things he hasn't told her. One of them being that Hermes tried getting a message to Wonder Woman, and that he had heard whispers of something bad happening, but he didn't believe it to be to this extent. And so now Wonder Woman, she's a little mad. She wants to go find Hermes, but at the same time, the little rat, the little squirrel didn't tell her anything. Didn't warn her of what was happening. And he apologizes, but he did it with the best of intentions. He did it with the intentions of saving Asgard. He had heard of a great warrior that would be ascending, and he kind of manipulated things to where she would arrive in Asgard to be able to help them out. But it's not necessarily his fault, because when she died, when she went to ascend to Olympus, Olympus was already full. And so she had to go somewhere else. And of course, this baffles Wonder Woman. Like, how, first of all, how can Olympus even be full? That doesn't make any sense. But she's told that somebody took her place, and that one became two. Old became new. And as they make their way through the halls of Olympus, they see nothing but a bloodbath. And she approaches one individual, having no recollection of who he might be, but she knows that he is wounded, and no matter what, she needs to be able to save his life to be able to get some answers out of him, be it he a foe or a friend. And so Wonder Woman, throwing pillars off of him, tells him that he needs to stay here with the squirrel, and that she will be back at post haste. And while she's gone, our little squirrel friend, he comes up to this dude and tells him, like, I don't know who you are. I don't really trust who you might be. Because he's like, you know, there's something that's not smelling right in Olympus. Something is off right now. And while Wonder Woman might be going to get something to save your life, I'm gonna be keeping my eyes on you. Now Wonder Woman, she's hauled butt over to Hermes' temple to grab his staff of healing, hoping that it may still be there, and as she crashes through the walls, she's able to find it, grabbing it and making her way back to the individual she found. Not really understanding how to use this staff, she kind of just points it at him, and with the magic, we see the serpent come to life, and it bites the man on the neck. And with this, we see the man stand to his feet. Still a little woozy, still injured from whatever happened, but he is gaining strength slowly. And this is when Wonder Woman starts to question him, because she has a lot of questions about what happened. But her first question is, you know, who are you? Because you are very obviously not Olympian. And he tells us that no, technically he's not from Olympus, but it's been his home for quite some time now, because this is Janus, the god of transitions, the god of beginning and ends, the god of war and peace, the God of all that came before and the God of all that will come after. Now, this is a Roman god, but being a Roman god with no Greek equivalent, Hermes devised the idea to bring Janus into the fold. And it wasn't for anything more than Hermes got tired of transporting notes back and forth between the two pantheons. And so with that question being answered, Wonder Woman asked the question, where are all of the gods? And he lets us know that there is absolutely nothing that can be done for them now because they are all dead. And Wonder Woman, shocked, in complete disbelief, is asking how. How is it even possible that all of the gods were killed? That it wouldn't be something possible unless they had the God Slayer. But she knows it wasn't this sword because it is currently in a very sacred place. And while that may be true, from the same forge, by the same hand, from the same molten metal, another blade had been made. A blade known as the God Scraper, wielded by someone Janus knows all too well, because it is Janus. It is his other half. Because this god has been split into two. Together they were balanced, the past while also seeing the future. Her premonitions were never wrong, and her final vision was that a great warrior, the last to ascend to the pantheon, would arrive and drown Olympus in a sea of fire. She was convinced that that individual was coming, and the only way to stop it was by separating the two of them. In doing this, Janus would take the role of Wonder Woman's position, ensuring that Wonder Woman never arrived in Olympus, and this warrior could never set fire to all of Olympus. So this is why Wonder Woman was displaced. This is why she never arrived in Olympus, because she ended up going to Asgard, because her spot had already been filled by another god. Now, to make all of this possible, Janus needed a blade that would be able to cut a god in half. And that's what they needed the God Scraper for. And so going and getting the God Scraper, Janus was cut into two pieces, and she ended up taking up the role that Wonder Woman was supposed to fill. In doing so, creating a self-fulfilling prophecy and being the same warrior she believed was going to set ruins to everything. And the only reason that he is left alive is because he is a warning. Janus is now the future. She reigns supreme. Now at this point, Wonder Woman, she doesn't know what to believe. But what she does know is she's going to trust her gut, and her gut is telling her that there is something more at play here. So she ties up the man, not knowing if he is a foe or if he's trying to trick her in some way. She just doesn't know. But what she does know is she's going to go find some more answers. And as she makes her way out, she kind of, she's wondering right now how her life ended up being a murder mystery in the afterlife, a place where she's supposed to be enjoying her life. She could have very easily just ended up staying in Asgard and been able to be happy, especially with how powerful she's become. But this is where she arrives at Athena's reflecting pool. Seeing it still fully intact, she's going to use the reflecting pool to get in contact with someone she needs to talk to. That someone being Deadman, aka Boston Brand. And she tells Boston, like, what the hell, dude? Like, you didn't tell me anything was this bad. Now, Boston, he only knew a little bit of information. He didn't have the full story. He didn't know how bad it had gotten in Olympus. He didn't know that everybody had been killed. He just knew that things were a little sideways and that Wonder Woman needed to arrive back there. But seeing how frantic Wonder Woman is, seeing how much she is needing help, he tells her that he's going to meet up with her. That they can meet up at the graveyard of the gods. Because he only has so much power. But the graveyard of the gods is the one location that he kind of can come into full fruition. And Wonder Woman returning to Janus, telling him that he is going to wait here for her return. That she is going to the graveyard of the gods. And he immediately protests to this, saying that it is a bad idea, that she will never return. And this is something Wonder Woman has heard before, because it's not the first time that she has been to the graveyard of the gods. But she tells Janus that he needs to stay here, stay put, and make sure that he doesn't go anywhere. Because she's pretty sure when she comes back, she's going to have a crap ton more questions for him. And with that, Wonder Woman, she takes off. arriving at the entrance to Tartarus, the imprisonment for gods here in Olympus. People like Kronos, people like the Titans, they are all kept here, shackled for all of eternity. And we see her descend into hell beyond hell. And as they descend, it is a literal hellscape of torturement, and you can only but feel pity for these individuals that are stuck here for all of eternity. And as Wonder Woman is descending down into Tartarus, this is where we see Deadman makes his arrival and tells her not to pity these guys, because a lot of them, they rightfully earned their spot in prison for eternity. But we see Diana tell him, you know, first she's really mad, and she's like, listen, like, I can't believe you didn't tell me, but also thank you for being a friend, and thank you for showing up when I needed you most. And Deadman, he apologizes. You know, if this is something he would have seen, he would have definitely let her know. But the cosmos only allows him to be in specific locations. He can't be in somewhere as magnificent as Olympus, but he's allowed to be somewhere like the graveyard of the gods. And if he's in somewhere too magnificent, too beautiful for too long, the multiverse starts to get out of whack, and it really has a huge ramification. So he has to really stick to the more or less the shadows, the worst that the worlds have to offer. Those are the places that he has the best connection to. And as they're descending down into this place, this is where they see Kronos tied up, shackled to the wall. And Wonder Woman, she kind of feels a little empathy here, a little bit of pity. She feels sorry for him because regardless of what he done, she put him here, and she feels like she could be doing better, that there's gotta be a better way of punishment than this kind of torture and agonizing pain for all of eternity. She feels like that she needs to do better. And what I see from this is really them planning for Wonder Woman to possibly take over Olympus. That may be what this is aiming towards. Who knows? I'm really hoping that's what they aim towards. But I also want Wonder Woman to come back to life. You know, I don't know if we're going to be continuing on with Wonder Woman's dead forever thing. If it is, I think they should have done it in a much more ceremonic aspect. But we see them descend down into the darkness, coming upon the doorway that leads them to the graveyard of the gods, guarded by one guard who grants them permission to enter, but warns them that when they enter, they are going to fail upon their mission, and they will never be allowed to return to this place again. And with that, we see Wonder Woman open up this doorway leading to where the gods now lay. And that will be the end of this issue. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. You know, I thoroughly have been enjoying this Wonder Woman line, more specifically because it was really focused on Asgard. But now that we're back in Olympus, the story is really going to start driving forward. And I already have a feeling that Janice, this is some kind of trick, and that the two gods that were once one, they have a trick up their sleeve, and they're going to try to out-finesse Wonder Woman in some way, shape, or fashion. But yeah, let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Personally, I'm ready to see Wonder Woman back with the Justice League, but something is telling me that might not happen. We might see a future where we're seeing a different Wonder Woman take the spot. And we've seen two different Wonder Woman already come to fruition. So it is very possible that we see Yara Flor, the Wonder Woman from the Amazon. You know, she already has her stint in Future State, so on and so forth. So it would make sense if they are trying to replace Wonder Woman, if they're trying to replace Diana Prince. But yeah, if you guys have not yet, do me a favor, hit that sub button, hit that notification bell, make sure you don't miss any of the awesome content we have coming out, and until the next breakdown.